lowered it. I had an exhaust on there, full exhaust, a MagnaFlow. I had a cold air intake, and then yeah, I think that's really it. Like I
Yeah.
didn't do nothing too crazy. It was a clean, cool little daily. Altogether, I added it up. I think I put like almost 5 grand into the car.
Mm-hmm.
But it was, to me, it was worth it. I don't regret it at all. It was a '98 Accord when I got it. It had 86,000 miles. When I sold it, I had it for 2 years. It had 98,000 miles. So I only drove it 10,000 miles in 2 years. I never drove the car. Um, I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I always loved my first car.
So
Yeah,
talk about that grind, man, and like really having to sacrifice and isolate, not really isolate yourself, but for a little bit you had to sacrifice going out, doing all this, just grinding for that car because it was something bigger, and
hmm
you were delaying your gratification for something that you wanted later instead of satisfying yourself in the moment. Talk
for
about
sure.
that.
I think the grind for the Honda was definitely a little bit different than the grind for the Subi, just
Mm,
because like the numbers were a lot different. But I mean, for the Honda, like I said, I had no money in my account. I don't recommend that. Money management skills is definitely one of the first things you should learn once you start getting an income. But yeah, I was super focused. I wasn't as focused as when I was buying the Subi. We could talk about that because that'd probably be like a better explanation.
mm. So you had a dirt bike too,
Yeah.
and when'd you get that?
That was a birthday present for my 17th birthday,
Mm,
and yeah, my mom had got it for me, and it was, man, I love that thing. I love dirt bikes.
mm,
But I had sold it because there was like two family friends that had gotten into motorcycle or dirt bike accidents within like a week of each other,
mm,
and also I had known that I wanted to get a new car, so I was selling everything. That's when I sold majority of my shoe collection. That's when I sold my dirt bike. I had sold my car. Um, but the grind for the Subi, man, that was,
Man, let's get into that. Like,
yeah.
talk about the separation, really being isolated, just going home every day, and just tell them about
Literally.
the grind from seeing the Subi, wanting the Subi, and then getting the Subi.
So they came out in 2015, which I was in middle school. I had just started middle school, and I had been obsessed with them. They looked so nice. And then when I had, when I had the Honda, I had always thrown around the idea of getting a new car. Like I loved my Honda, but I wanted something that was just a little bit quicker, a little bit nicer. And once I was like 17, I had a decent amount of money starting to be saved up. Once I stopped building the Honda,
Mm,
I felt like I was like, dang, I don't even know what to do with all this money because I'm not spending any money on parts. And for forever, every paycheck was to parts or trying to get something fixed. And so I had nothing to really buy. Like the car was paid off. The only thing I had to pay for was insurance, gas, and then like food. Um, so I had thrown around the idea of getting a new car, and I was trying to give myself a budget of like what I didn't want to go over. And like when I had first started looking for cars, I was like, I don't want to spend anything over $15,000.
mm,
And I had that's when I was like, okay, I really got to change the way I'm living, and I got to change the people that I'm around, because I really need to start saving money if this is like something I really want to do.
mm,
And so I also I realized that I had a little bit of trouble in school, kind of felt like it wasn't for me or whatever. But then I realized, like I'm not doing it for anybody else. I'm literally just doing it for me. Like my high school diploma is gonna open up so many more things in my life and in my future. And so I had to buckle down in school, really get my grades together, really, get everything together. And I realized, I kind of had to stop hanging around certain people because they're wanting to go out every weekend and wanting to
mm,
spend money, wanting to do all this. And I was like, it's no love lost or anything, but I have like some goals and stuff that I want to reach. And so I was trying to save money any way I could. For months, I was going straight to school, straight to work, straight home. I was trying to spend as least amount of money on gas. I wasn't going out. I wasn't buying shoes. Wasn't buying clothes. I was trying to eat at home as much as I could. I was eating anything that was in the fridge. I was just trying to save up as much money as I could.
Well, his dad's a master
And
chef, so that's pretty easy.
man, always grilling this or something. And so once I had, I had set a goal for like I don't want to spend over 15 grand. But after really buckling down and saving for a couple months, I was like, I can up my budget a little
He
bit.
said, "We up in the
So
budget. Something slight, something
so
slight."
yeah, cause I originally wanted a Ford Focus ST, the ST, not a
Found
regular
on the
Ford
road to
Focus.
dead, boy.
But yeah, so I had been looking at those, and my budget's at 20 grand. I was like, I can afford that. And then I kept grinding a little bit more, and I had uh my mom, my stepmom, which I consider her a mom, asked me what do you like really want? And I was like, if I were to really spend like my hard earned money on a car that I want for the next couple of years, I'd want one of my dream cars. And that was the WRX for me. And so she was like, well, why don't you look at those? I was like, it's just a little bit out of my budget, because at the time, well, the prices really shot up recently, but at the time, you could get a solid WRX for 20 grand, but it was like a 15, 16, and I was perfectly fine with that. And then she was like, why don't you just relax on trying to buy a new car right away? Just like slow down a little bit, just save some money and see where you're at in like a month or two. And so I had my bad. And so I had I took her advice. I was we had a lot of back and forth, not like arguments but discussions. Like I want this car, I want the. And she was like, well, just relax, just chill out a bit, like kind of enjoy what you have for now. So like a month or two had gone by, and I was like, okay, like this actually could be like a possibility.
Mm.
And but I was looking at like 2017s with like 40,000 miles, 30,000 miles, because that was in my price range, and I had up my price range to about like 25.
Mm.
And most of these WRXs I'm looking at are 26, 27. I was like, what's a couple thousand more? And so once I had got to the point where I had like a sit down with my parents, I had talked to them, I had crunched some numbers on insurance, I had crunched the numbers on payments, I had thrown around the ideas of getting the loan because I didn't want to get a loan. And once I realized, I'm getting closer, a little bit closer to being 18, I should probably start thinking about building a little bit of credit. And
Mm.
so I was like, maybe I'll get a loan. And so I was like, okay, I think I'm ready to start looking at cars. I was fine with the insurance numbers. I was fine with the car payment numbers. So I started looking, and I had found this car in Kansas City that I really wanted to get, which I'm glad I didn't get now. But I went, sold the Honda, which I regret every day. And then yeah, so I went to go look at it. The dude sold it out from under me, which I don't blame him. He was trying to make some money.
Man,
And so
if you snooze, you lose
yeah.
around here, man.
So actually, I was looking one day, and my dad came in my room. I remember this. I'll never forget this. I was sitting in my room, and it was the day that I sold my Honda. And like he actually like came to pick it up because it took like 2 weeks to get it sold because we had to get it inspected and negotiate all this stuff. And so I was sitting in my room, and I'm not gonna lie, I was crying because for 2 years I put my blood, sweat, tears, money, like I put my everything into this car, and I just watched it drive off. And I didn't have a car in mind that I wanted to get. And when my dad walked in my room, and he gave me a hug, and he like had comforted me, and he had his computer with him. I thought that was a little odd, and I was sitting on my bed, and he like put the computer on the bed, and I looked, and it was a WRX, and it was everything I wanted. I wanted white. It had to have a sunroof. It had to be manual, and I asked him, I was like, what's this? He's like, that's your next car. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, I think you'll really like this one. And so I looked at it. It was a 2020.
It was that Nissan, by the way.
Nissan, by the way. Shout out Nissan. It was a lot newer than I was expecting. And I was like, how many miles does it have? And he was like, 3,000, which was a lot newer than I was expecting. And he told me how much it was. I was like, that's out of my price range. And he was like, I've been looking at it. He's like, and I think that honestly you could afford it. He was like, but you have to like really kind of,
Grind.
change the way that you're living for a while until you realize how much you're really spending. And I was like, okay. And so he was like, I already called him and talked to him. And I'm not gonna lie, he gave me a little bit of money too, for graduation. This was my graduation present. and he gave me like he covered like the sales tax on the car. And next day I went. I think I put like 17,000 down
Man,
after really grinding
we're
and
not gonna get into the video this man sent the group chat, but
man, hey man, holding. I will say this: one of the best feelings that I've had is holding $17,000,
all
all blues, in your hand, just a stack, knowing like you worked hard for this. And yeah, so I went and got the car the next day, and it's been a journey ever since. I've been building this car. I'll say this: I haven't even had the car a year, and I've already put almost double what I put into the Honda. Um, but it's just it's a more expensive car. And I love it. I love it every day. So it's just yeah. I was really focused though. That's when I really realized that the people you have around you are the ones that influence you the most. And me and you always say this, like you're a product of the 5 people you hang around the most, and that's one of the truest sayings ever. You hang around 4 bums, you're gonna be the 5th, and I feel like this is especially true for men because we're competitive by nature. If you hang around 4 guys who are getting some money and just really just on their shit, really, you're not gonna be comfortable.
you're gonna be
Not doing anything.
self-conscious.
Yeah,
If you hanging around 5 winners and
you're a lose. Like it sounds bad, but like you're not doing anything. Like you don't have anything going on. It's gonna push you to, ask questions to try to, do what they're doing. And that's what you should do. You should surround yourself around 5 people who are doing the things that you want to do. No matter whether it's getting money, whether you're trying to learn how to invest. I mean, look at Day Day. He's going to Wichita for track, and he's, it's kind of sad. He's kind of like distancing himself from us a little bit, but it's like we know it's no love lost. Because I don't know anything about track. I just know about running straight. So if you're trying to be a great track star, you should hang around people who have similar interests. You should hang around people who are like-minded, regardless of what it is you're trying to do.
Man, shout out to my guy Day Day, man. He really
Love you, bro.
he done really turned up and got in his bag this last year, like.
Facts.
And it's kind of sad, like you said, bro. Don't be hitting us back in the group chat, man. We miss you, bro.
Hey, bro, text me though. I
Man.
love you, Day Day. You know this, bro.
He just really had to make a decision. Like, is he gonna sit around and be on the video games with us, or I mean, I don't play video games like that anymore. But is he gonna sit around playing video games, or is he gonna go hit the track field? Is he gonna go run?
Hit the gym.
Is he gonna go eat right? Like,
Condition.
bro, we look up to you, bro, because you're disciplined right now. You've been grinding, bro. Like,
Facts.
he won't eat, when we got to eat, bro, sit there with a water, bro. I'm like, damn, bro, get some food.
Bro's on that meal prep, that strict diet, which is
Man.
good. Like if you're a young male, you should have some sort of exercise in your daily routine. Like really getting into the gym is so much more than just like trying to be strong or anything. It's good discipline. It's good for your mind. It's good for your mental. There's just so many benefits to doing something active. So if you're even if you're not a young man, if you're young in general, you should have some sort of exercise in your routine.
So what got you into the gym, bro? Like,
honestly, I think the same thing that got every
every
young man
person,
to the gym.
not even just
heartbreak. Like,
not even just young men, bro. Women go through the same thing
exactly.
and get into the gym. So get
Heartbreak.
into that, bro.
So I had been in a relationship. Not gonna get into details with that. It's no hate or anything. It's all love. But once I had gotten out of that relationship, I had realized that like I really honestly like I hated myself.
Because you feel like you were putting too much energy into something else, and not enough into you, or
I just wasn't. I was too focused on a relationship. I wasn't focused on making sure I was good. I was depressed. I was self-conscious. I wasn't happy with the way I looked, and I had told myself, what can I do? And this was also kind of before like the gym was like so popular. Like, so I decided, I'm gonna get in the gym. I've always been a little self-conscious about being scrawny my whole life.
Little ass dude.
About being underweight. So I was like, I'm gonna get into the gym. I'm gonna bulk up. I'm gonna really take this serious. And at the time, I was going with my dad, 5 a.m. every morning. Go hit the gym for an hour, 5 days a week. go to school, go to work right after. And
Grind it, man.
I mean, I did that for about 8 months.
Is this when you had the Honda?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And for those 8 months, man, the progress was crazy. And then I had kind of got lazy. I had got comfortable again. And so now, I'm really starting to get back into the gym. I'm really starting to get back on my grind. I'm really starting to get focused again. I had just gotten too comfortable when I realized, like, I'm comfortable, but I could have so much more.
Man, uncomfortable situations is how we grow. Like, and somebody they just said something like this in church. They said like, when you're comfortable, you're just coasting, and there's literally no possible way to coast up. There's just no way you can coast up. You only can coast either this way or you coast down. And I was like, damn, that's so true. Like, there's no if you're riding a bike and you're not pedaling, can you go up a hill? Fuck no. You can go down the hill though. And one thing is, like, if you're not constantly learning, if you're not constantly getting better, if you're not constantly working, then you're losing. Like, things that are left to itself tend to die. So like,
You should always be doing something to better yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're like you never have reached your full potential yet. I feel like no matter who you are, there's still more that you could be doing. And that's also where a balance comes in. Like you should still be enjoying your life. You shouldn't be grind 24/7. You should still sit back and enjoy life, because honestly, that's one thing that I kind of regret just a little bit, is like missing out on all the stuff that because when I was getting like grinding for the Subi, there was nothing that was going to take me off my grind. I wasn't hanging out with friends. I wasn't going to school games. I wasn't, none of this stuff. And I kind of wish I would have enjoyed those a little bit more, because I really gave up like my high school to, get the things I have now. And granted, I love the things I have now. If I would do it over again, I'd probably do like the same thing. I would just try to have a little bit more balance, because, you don't want to lose out on life moments because you're too worried about getting money or being successful. There's a healthy balance to it.
So it's part of that sacrifice though, bro. Like,
absolutely.
So we're totally two different opposite people. So I would say that I live for the moment too much. Like, I'll do things and not think about 6 months from down the line. So like, I'm not even joking, bro. This last year when we was both working at Stormont, every Friday came and they scheduled me. I'm not going to be able to make it in today.
Should have been fired.
Literally should have been fired. But, I was a good worker and they loved your boy, so they didn't fire me. All right, bro, chill out.
Good worker is crazy.
Chill out.
Average worker?
Nah, chill out. But, yeah, man, so I just knew this was my last year of high school, and I do not regret calling out every day. Stormont, if you listen to this, I do not regret it. Those were moments that I felt like that I shouldn't have to miss out because I'm working. And would I've had more money? Yes. Would I probably be in a better position? Who knows? I don't know. I don't care. Like, I got to see my guys play, man, the people I grew up with, and to me, those moments are worth more than any money could buy. If somebody was to, I don't know, $1 million, that might be a little different, but
money combined is crazy. He doesn't regret doing it.
Yeah, I don't regret doing it.
Like where you said we're opposites. You were a little too relaxed. I was a little too focused, which is where balance comes in. There's a happy medium, and that's one thing I wish I would have learned more. Like now I do a lot better with that, but I'm still focused. But I'm not one of those people that's gonna go out every weekend. I'm not. You won't see me hanging around people who go out every weekend, because that's not what I'm interested in. I'm trying to surround myself around people who have similar goals, who are like-minded, people like you. And honestly, the fact that we're learning this at a young age, because 18 is young. If you have all this down and you're 16, 17, you are way ahead of the curve. There's people who are learning the stuff that we're learning now in their
at 12,
20s.
bro.
12, yeah, but there's also most of the people who are learning this stuff are learning it late. Like they're learning in their 20s. There's people who have had jobs and they're 22 years old and just now learning how to budget, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're learning stuff like this, then you're definitely ahead of the curve.
I think social media is a big impact on that, but it has a pro and it has a con because there's a lot of kids that are so hungry for something that they'll miss out on their
being a kid.
yeah,
And that
like
honestly, that was me. Like I feel like I grew up too fast because I was too worried about grinding. Like just there's also other reasons for growing up a little fast, but
mm.
everybody has their own personal experiences.
So I think that's a pro and a con. Like there's people that want to grind for something and but then they're not realizing they're still a kid. It's okay to it's okay not to be rich right now. And I think I got to slow down a little bit on that, but I still want to get rich and maybe being in an environment and seeing better things it had a positive impact, but it also had a negative impact because I'm trying to rush it way too fast. I'm not like one thing that made me realize is like, dang, I'm only 18, so I gotta slow down a little bit. Like, I just gotta slow down and enjoy the process because I feel like doing this now, bro, being broke, like it's gonna feel way better than actually achieving the goal. Like figuring out the process and figuring out all the challenges. This is fun, bro. Like every day grinding for something new,
Yeah.
and then once I have it, I'm just gonna be like, oh, I got this now. Like once I hit 100K, I ain't never hit 100K yet. I mean, I wish I did, but
And
I
like you
mean,
said, social media has definitely become like a big influence. Like I, especially me, like scrolling through TikTok and you see an 18-year-old who's driving a Lambo
scat
or
pack and
something.
stuff.
Or
Like
even
what?
scat packs, yeah. But like that stuff's not like it's not common.
It's not
And
common, but
but I feel like it gives people like false hope in a way.
I don't think it's false hope. I think it's because it's doable, bro. But like there's a is like I said, it's a pro and a con. Like some people will not throw their life away, but some people will
Be
not be a
real though, a lot
kid.
of people on TikTok that are our age are scammers. Like,
Oh, bro, I'm
there's a
like
lot,
they
but
be up posting 100K. I'm like, dang,
they
should we,
chase tap in. But
man, should we take the risk? But nah, we can't do that one.
that's felony talk.
Man,
But
we can't do that one.
yeah, no, like I don't know, like social media, it's definitely everybody learns at their own pace. Everybody has their own thing going. If you're 18 years old and you're not rich yet,
It's okay.
if you're 40 years old and you're not rich yet, that's fine. Well, I saw this statistic. It was like 40% of millionaires don't get their first million until they're older than like
30.
35.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you're 20 years old stressing about 20, if you're our age, if you're
But those are old numbers, bro. That like if they
yeah,
really did a study and really redid the numbers,
but you gotta
it'd
think,
be about I'd say 25
but
maybe.
like the majority, like majority of the world is not millionaires.
Yeah.
So that's what really averages it out. But you shouldn't get too wrapped up in like, oh, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. You should focus on what you're doing now
And
and
trying
what
to
you
improve
could
it.
be doing now. Like
Yep.
you should be doing everything you can to improve yourself. And honestly, like money used to be everything to me, but now my goal is I just want to be happy and I want to be comfortable and I want to be financially free.
That's facts.
And because like if you're doing what you love every day and you're focusing on yourself every day, you're winning already, and if you're truly doing what you love and you're good at what you do and you're happy, the money will follow you no matter
Man.
what you're doing and where you're going. So you shouldn't get too wrapped up about money. True happiness is everything, and the relationships are everything. Family is everything. You can't get too wrapped up in money. You can't get too focused. You can't get tunnel vision, kind of like how I did, like I wish I would have went out with you guys sometimes in high school, and I wish, but I'm learning that now.
Mm.
It's not too late. We're still young, so I'm still learning to enjoy myself. I'm still learning that money's not everything. Relationships and the people that you learn and like the people you meet are everything.
So
Experiences are everything.
I used to like getting back to what he was saying. Money's really not everything, and it used to be my main priority. But I realized the only way you get rich is by either selling something to a lot of people or impacting a lot of people's lives. And my goal is to impact as many young Black African American children to do better. Man, we got kids that know how to roll a wood, but they can't even tie a tie. And I can't tie a tie, but I'm saying like. Yeah, I mean, no.
Oh, you talking
But
about? Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay. My fault. My fault.
So we got young kids that are out here blowing big woods, but they ain't never seen themselves in a suit. They ain't never been outside their city. They never went to a 5-star hotel. And I just want to say shout out to my guy TD, man. Like if it wasn't for him in my life showing me these different places, taking me on these different trips, like being exposed to a different amount of wealth, like seeing a
Just a
black
different environment.
yeah, a different environment, just a black man that's really getting to it, I would not be the person I am today. And
Shout
it's
out
just crazy,
TD.
man. Shout out TD, man. So what is your plans for the next, all right, let's do this. What's your plan for the next 3 months? Because I just made a video on that. And what's your plans for the next year and the next 5? Go ahead and break those down.
All right. So my plan for the next 3 months is I really want to continue, really what I'm doing now. I want to get more focused in the gym. My goal is to hit 150 pounds by the end of the year,
Hmm.
and I know I can do that. I just gotta really eat.
What are you at right
And
now?
I think like 125, 130 ish,
Hmm.
depending on the day, depending on
Man.
if I took a shit or not today, But yeah, for the next 3 months, I really want to get back into the gym. My first semester of college will be over in December.
Hmm.
Right now, I have all A's, and so I plan to keep doing that. I'm still working almost full time at the hospital. I want to continue to do well at work. Um, yeah, for the next 3 months, I really just want to continue what I'm doing and working on growing it and doing what I'm doing better.
Hmm.
Um, for the next year, my goal for the next year is to finish my first year of college. I want to get my car paid off completely,
Hmm.
which would be crazy because I have a 5-year loan and it hasn't even been a year yet, and I know I can get it paid off, but in the next year. Um, Once I get my car paid off, uh, I'm not in a hurry or anything, but I plan on moving out.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and then the next 5 years, I want to get my bachelor's degree in respiratory therapy or respiratory science.
Hmm.
I want to be get in the RT program. I want to become a respiratory therapist, and honestly, move to Texas. Like I've always wanted to live in Texas. There's just so much more opportunity. It's like Kansas. It's cheap. Well, not cheap. Like your money goes a long way in Texas. It's I like the weather. I don't like being cold. That's
I
one thing I
swear
hate
to
about
God, I
Kansas is the winters.
hate the cold.
But yeah, I want to move down there and just continue what I'm doing. Oh, also for the next 3 months, I forgot to say this. I want to, now that I'm finally 18 years old, I was dabbling with like investments and stocks and crypto a little bit when I was 17 under my mom's account on Robinhood. Now that I'm 18, I want to really start.
Bro, tap him with that dude I sent you, bro.
Yeah, I
He
know.
really be getting.
I followed him on Instagram. I just want to like really just educate myself a little bit more and just like start to dabble a little bit. I don't want to go put like 30% of my check into it. I just want to play around with it a little bit, play with some numbers, and also I want to start hitting the casino heavy.
No, bro.
I'm just
Bro, my
playing.
boy
No, no,
Eli,
no.
shout out my boy Eli. He showed me this guy on Instagram. His name's like Dirty Goth Boy. Bro, hold on. He be patching the casinos, bro. Hold on, I'm finna show you, bro.
Is he on like a lot of podcasts and stuff?
Yes, bro.
Yeah, I know you're talking
He's the
about.
one who won Lil Baby some money, bro.
He won
Like,
like 17 mil at a casino.
yes, bro.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
bro.
I've
This
just seen
dude
it.
is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. He plays poker though. I'll be on
He
the
plays baccarat and
Yeah.
blackjack.
Yeah.
Bro.
Nah, not me. I just be on the slot machines. That's the only
No,
thing
that
you can do
stuff
at
is,
18 in
bro, the
Kansas.
slots are so boring. This man took me to the casino, got me patched for 100, bro. I was so mad. I'm never going back.
I told this man to slow down. He was betting $5 a roll.
Bro, that's how you win
sometimes.
some money, bro.
How much money did he win though?
Hey,
Exactly.
look. My guy
You wanna go to the
Vontae.
casino tonight?
No, I'm not going. My guy Vontae, he went with like 200, bro. He was playing $20 rolls. He won like 1650, bro. I was like, dang. Next day,
I just take 40. That's it.
day, bro got patched, but we're not gonna talk about that.
Oh
Man, but it was good having you on the show, bro. Appreciate you coming in and.
thank you, man. I appreciate it.
All right, man. This is the
Wish
end of
you
the episode.
More success. But yeah.
Go ahead and follow my my guy on Instagram. Go ahead or drop all your. It's gonna be in the description, but go ahead and drop your.
I have a YouTube channel. I do car content, so go subscribe on there. Go follow my TikTok. That's what I've really been trying to focus on a little bit for the next 3 months. I really want to start grinding on TikTok and YouTube. Maybe play around with Instagram a little bit. But yeah, you guys go follow my socials. It'll be down in the description below.
All right, man.
So yeah, all right then, bro. Late, man.
Love, bro.